Who am I? 3 words, but behind them hides the most ancient, profound mystery. Every culture has asked this. Every thinker has wrestled with it. Is the self a soul, a spark of the divine, a biological illusion, a social identity, or something else? Today, we begin a journey through the eyes of philosophers, mystics, scientists, and seekers, not to find the final answer, but to expand our vision of what the self might be. Let us begin where many philosophical traditions in the West began, ancient Greece. At the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, the words inscribed were, "Know thyself." For Socrates, this was the beginning of wisdom. He walked the streets of Athens questioning people, not to shame them, but to awaken them. He believed we could only live a good life by understanding our true nature. The unexamined life, he said, is not worth living. But what exactly are we examining? Are we our thoughts, our beliefs, our desires, or the observer behind them? Fast forward 2,000 years to René Descartes, who stripped away all assumptions until he found one thing he could not doubt. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. But are we merely our thinking minds? If we are our thoughts, what happens in stillness, in sleep, in meditation? When thought stops, do we stop? Perhaps we are not the thoughts, but the one who is aware of them. In the 20th century, Jean-Paul Sartre declared, "Existence precedes essence." We are not born with a fixed purpose or nature. We create ourselves through our choices, actions, and freedom. But this freedom can feel overwhelming. Who we are is up to us, and that means we carry the responsibility and the burden of becoming. Now let us turn east, to the spiritual philosophy of Vedanta, rooted in India's ancient scriptures. Vedanta teaches, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the Atman, pure, silent, eternal awareness. Close your eyes, notice your breath. Your thoughts come and go. Emotions rise and fade. But something remains, quietly watching. That is the self. The ancient sages compared this to the sky. Clouds may cover it, storms may pass, but the sky itself remains untouched. As the sun shines on all, yet remains unaffected by the activities of the world, so does the self shine within, untouched by pleasure or pain. You are not your story. You are the witness of the story. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, the soul is eternal. Weapons cannot cut it, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, and wind cannot dry it. The self, or Atman, is beyond death and birth. To realize this is to be free from fear, to act not for reward, but from dharma, duty, presence, and love. This isn't just a belief, it is an experience, and millions of meditators over centuries claim to have touched it in stillness. But what if there is no self at all? Buddha taught anatta, the doctrine of non-self. Look closely, he said. Can you find any permanent I? What we call the self is actually a collection of 5 ever-changing elements: body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness. These arise and pass, moment to moment, like waves in an ocean. There is no wave that is always there. So too, no permanent self. Just as a chariot is made of its parts, the Buddha said, so too is the person. Letting go of this illusion doesn't leave you empty. It opens you to compassion, to impermanence, to freedom. You are not separate. You are part of the dance of life itself. Mystics across all traditions speak of a similar truth, not in theory, but in experience. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Rumi. Ramana Maharshi, the Indian sage, taught a single question: who am I? Ask not for an answer, but to dissolve the questioner. Not to think your way there, but to sit in silence and feel the self that remains when everything else falls away. He said, "There is no need to create the self. It is always present. Only the mind has to stop running." So again we ask, who am I? Because you are not a sentence to complete. You are the page on which the sentence is written. You are the light behind the eyes, the presence behind the personality. Thank you for walking this journey inward. May this reflection travel with you, not as knowledge, but as an open door.